Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It has been a hot minute since I've done a video. Basically, I've been dealing with other life things and I just hadn't had the energy. I have a chronic illness, so it's very hard for me to do this and I just haven't had the energy to do it and I had to put it on pause for a little bit. But Nars released a new palette, the Ignited palette, and if you guys have watched any of my other videos, you know that I'm pretty into the Nars palettes, and here in Australia, we usually get them way behind the US, but Black Friday, Mecca had some kind of weird sale on where for one day only, you could get it that day and then it's not released in Australia here until January, I think. They also gave some free samples, you know how it is, and sales, and what can I say? I thought, you know what, I'll get that and I hope that it'll sort of motivate me to film a video. And that's what we're doing right now. I'll start off by showing you the palette. It's absolutely gorgeous. So it's got this pink and purple design on it. I think it looks like a close-up flower leaf. And when you get inside, that's the beauty there. So you can see there's this beautiful reddy rust, a nice brown, a bone shade for your, setting and whatnot. There's all these shimmer shades here. This shade up here is actually surprisingly beautiful. It's like, it doesn't look that exciting in the pan, but by Swatches, it's an absolutely gorgeous, shimmery, light peach color. And this guy actually does come out relatively true to color in the pan in terms of being like a dark purple with a beautiful pinky sparkle in it. So I really like that guy too. And some of these light shades are fantastic and they really pack a sparkle punch, like they are there. This is only going to be sort of a quick rundown. I have filmed this look, so there'll be a video up on my channel more in depth with what the shadows, how the shadows perform and stuff. So this is just a general overview of the palette. As with all of my Nars palettes to date, the quality is exceptional. The shadows are really buttery and pigmented and really gorgeous. I found the glitter shadows in here to be particularly good formula. I didn't get barely any fallout with them at all. Actually, I had the most fallout with the light brown shade in the palette, which I did find kicked up a bit of dust when I dug into it. I don't mind that because I'm happy to work with that, and to me that's just getting more pigment on the brush and that doesn't bother me at all. But if you were bothered by subcontra, then maybe this would bother you. But I mostly found that with that one particular shade. The look that I did on my eyes today, I used Fuse, which is this really interesting shade down here. I used that without any glitter glue or any Fix Plus or anything. I just used it dry on my eyes and I think it's come out really beautiful. It's sort of, I went for an unstructured eye look today with the glitter to be a bit more messy and sort of diffused, and these shadows worked perfectly for doing that. This palette has 3 mattes, so less mattes than the other palettes that I own. It's got a few satins and then mostly a lot of those really sparkly shimmery shades. I'm happy with that because I'm a glitter girl and I absolutely adore sparkly shimmery shades, and I have a million mattes already, so I don't really need a lot of mattes. And if I did want, I could just dip into another palette to sort of bump up the matte to glitter ratio here. Also, this palette doesn't have a black. This deep purple in the corner here is the darkest shade in the palette and it is a shimmer. Depending on your style of makeup, that may or may not suit you. I have whinged in the past actually about how I hate it that every single palette seems to come with like a black or a really, really dark black brown. And after you've collected a few of them, you end up with many, many multiples of almost exactly the same color. So for me personally, I'm really pleased that they ditched the black in this palette because I am more than happy to go to the effort of finding a single black or getting like a different palette just to use for the deeper colors so that I can have more variety in my shades. So I'm actually really happy with that personally, although I know some people do like a black or a brown in their palette. So if you're one of those people, this might not be a real good all-rounder for you. The other thing that people might be interested in knowing with this guy, because I know I certainly was, is how similar is it to the Nars Wanted palette. So I'll show you them side by side now. So here they are side by side. This is the Nars Wanted palette and this is the Nars Ignited palette. And I have to say, when you put them side by side like that, they do look kind of similar. And so really, my advice to you is to go and swatch them in store if you can, because they aren't the same in real life. They are similar, but not so similar that you wouldn't want both of them. That answers that question. The Nars Wanted is, I thought, like more of a reddy toned palette. They call it rose gold, but I wasn't super sold on that. But compared to this one, it's more neutral. So this one does seem to really have more of the reds and pinks and purples in it, but they're not super vibrant. They're wearable reds, pinks and purples, the same as with the Wanted palette. So if you're wanting super packs of really vibrant, vivid colors that are exactly the color that you see in the pan, you're not really going to get that with this palette. But if you just want to play with a bit of wearable color, again, the same as the Wanted palette, then you can definitely do that with this guy. From looking online, I thought that they were quite similar, but sitting them side by side, I think that they are different and they actually will work really nicely together. So if you already own the Wanted palette and you definitely don't need another palette, but if you're a bit of a makeup addict, then I think that these two would really complement each other. There's a lot of similar tones going on and you could definitely build from using them together and make lots of really beautiful looks. I'll show you guys some swatches. First up, we have Hammett 1, Sophia, Numia, St. Paul de Venice, Supernova, Fired Up. Wow, that colour's awesome. Light Up, In Heat, Fuse. Whoa, that's awesome. Atomic, Ignition. Wow, that one's beautiful. Point Noir. It's not a real surprise, but yeah, I do really like this palette. Did I need it? Absolutely not. Do you need it? I don't know, probably not. But if you're a if you're a makeup junkie or whatever, it makes you happy. It makes me happy. So I'm glad that I got it because I like collecting makeup. Yeah, I'll definitely use it. Okay, so that rounds up my thoughts on the new Nars Ignited palette. I love it. What else is new? I'd be really interested to know, especially if you're in Australia. Are you planning on buying this palette? Did you get it when I got it? Are you waiting for it? Let me know down below. I love talking to you guys. Thank you so much for joining me and I will see you in my next video.